Hi there, welcome to Nepean Invest. When people talk about coal companies on the ASX, they usually refer to Whitehaven, New Hope, maybe sometimes even Yancoal, but very rarely do you see Coronado Global Resources being mentioned. However, this is a coal producing company on the ASX. In fact, they produce metallurgical coal, which is a little bit different than thermal coal. For those who don't know, metallurgical coal goes to production of steel. Thermal coal goes to production of energy. You burn coal to get energy. And typically, metallurgical coal is sold at a higher price than thermal coal. And there could be reasons why Coronado Coal or Global Resources is not lumped together with those other three coal companies. And it might become obvious when we look at the chart for this company. Now, Coronado Coal or Global Resources have operations in two countries, Australia and United States. And if you go to their website, this is their website. They have a list, or you go to the operations part of their website. Australian operations are in the Bowen Basin, which is maybe the biggest coal producing basin in Australia. In fact, it says here one of the world's largest coal basins and Australia's largest source of metallurgical coal. So either one or two operations in that part of the world. They also have operations in the United States. And funnily enough, they have two mine complexes in West Virginia. And maybe I'm being a little bit unfair because I associate West Virginia and coal. They go together like a hand in a glove. Maybe I am being a little bit stereotypical when it comes to West Virginia. And I'm pretty sure West Virginia is a little bit more than coal, but I just think coal when it comes to West Virginia. So maybe I am being a little bit ignorant, but Coronado has a few mine complexes in West Virginia and just another mine complex right on the West Virginia border. They also talked about something in Pennsylvania, somewhere. I'm pretty sure they have a project in Pennsylvania. Anyway, so those are the projects this company has. And Coronado Global Resources is a big company. And I was a little bit surprised by this. In fact, their market cap is $3 billion. That's at a share price of $1.78 because they have shares on issue of about 1.7 billion. Now, one of the reasons why this company might not be lumped together with those other coal producing companies is the chart and the share price of this company over the past few years. We haven't seen the share price go bananas like those other three companies. So we have a look at the chart later in the video. So interesting company. One company I have never had a look at. Now, the whole main catalyst behind me doing this video today is because Coronado Global Resources released a guidance update for financial year 23 on the 2nd of October. And I'm going to have a look at that particular guidance update. But before we have a look at the guidance update, I just wanted to have a look at the half-year numbers. Because this company actually reports in American dollars, the half-year finishes at June the 30th, and the full-year finishes December 31st. So they report the full-year numbers in February, half-year numbers in August. So let's have a quick look at the half-year numbers. Now, this is just a presentation, so I'm going to try to go through this fairly quickly. It's a nice little presentation. Now, the main part of the presentation starts on page 13 because the first 12 pages is just a commentary and a few nice tables. They talk about how metallurgical coal has a long-term future because steel is the number one critical commodity to development of a low-carbon future. I don't care about that sort of thing. I don't care about them trying to sell how important metallurgical coal is. I'm trying to look at or find numbers here. Now, the first concerning thing here is they're not going straight to the numbers, which tells me maybe the half-year numbers were a bit disappointing. Sort of reminds me of 2016, 2017, when most mining companies led with health. We didn't have many injuries this year. That's the first thing they talked about. And that's just telling me that the numbers were going to be bad. And they talk about how energy transition is dependent on steel. Fair enough. They might be right. In fact, they probably are right. But I want to know the numbers of this company. And we actually go all the way. I do like this. I'm talking about the reserves and resources. They have operating assets mine life greater than 20 years and coal resources of greater than 2 billion tonnes. Looks like they have 6 projects here. Kura, Buchanan, Logan, Green Bear, and Mon Valley. So that's actually important to know. And then they talk about health and safety. So at least they didn't lead off with this, which, again, many mining companies did that in 2016. Now we get to the numbers. And it's pretty obvious why they didn't lead off with the numbers because these numbers are down. Now, again, this is a pretty big mining company in terms of coal. $1.5 billion of revenue in the half year, but that was down significant amount from 1 year ago. Profit down from 562 million to $200 million. Adjusted EBITDA down big as well. So everything's down. Net cash rose a little bit. Coal production up a little bit. Sales volume down a little bit. The main things I'm looking for here are the coal prices they sold their coal for and costs. So average met coal realized price of $229.1 a ton, down significantly from last year, and operating costs up significantly as well. So the margins significantly shrunk for this company in the past year, which is why their profit fell from 562 million to 200 million. So that is actually really important. So this company has been affected by decrease in margins. The main concern I have is operating costs, $147.7 a ton. Now, they do sell the metallurgical coal for a higher price than thermal coal, but if metallurgical coal keeps on decreasing their price, now I don't really follow it that closely. I typically follow thermal coal prices, but if metallurgical coal does fall significantly from here and they do have rising operating costs, that could be a concern moving forward. And they're blaming the higher costs on global inflationary pressures, lower sales volume, and higher Queensland government royalty rates, which I don't have a problem with at all. Then talk about cash flows and liquidity. Cash on hand actually did increase $100 million. That's actually pretty good. They have a fixed biannual dividend, although according to CommSec, they have 4 dividends a year. I'm not sure about that. That could be wrong. Maybe 3 dividends a year. Although they do talk about here biannual dividend, and that to me is twice a year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand what biannual means. And they talk about metallurgical coal markets as well. So they sell coal to many countries in the world. 53% of their coal is sent to Asia, 28% to Americas, 15% to Europe, and 4% only to Australia. And then they talk about coal prices expected to rebound. That's fair enough. Maybe they are. I just don't know. I don't think anyone knows this. So it's understandable why they would put this in the particular presentation, because they're hoping metallurgical coal will increase. Maybe I should just call it met coal. They are or hope met coal will increase because that will be beneficial for the company. And of course, still demand outlook remains firm. Again, whenever you're talking about a forecast or an outlook, 50% of the time it's going to be wrong. And anything else here? Oh, they talk about some of their plans for growth, organic growth. Looks like one of their mines, first coal targeted for late 2024. So it's interesting. Have a look at the presentation. If you do like what you have heard in this particular video, you get a lot of information from presentations, a lot of information from the website as well. Now on to the main catalyst, the main motivation for me doing this video today, and that is the trading update the company did release on the 2nd of October 2023. And this was sort of a downgrade. It wasn't as bad as a downgrade because there were just some not odd things, but some non-structural problems that have led to a decrease in the forecast production for this company. So saleable production down a little bit, not a lot. Average mining cost per ton actually increased. That was one of the concerning things I did have, and capital expenditure down a little bit from last year as well. And they do talk about why they had to do this sort of downgrade. For instance, they mention here mining activities at the Buchanan mine were temporarily impacted by geological conditions in the coal seam that slowed production rates and impacted yield. Those adverse conditions related to a rock intrusion have now been addressed and operations are returning to normal. These types of intrusions are not uncommon, and the company's highly experienced US team is capable of handling these issues when they arise. With geological conditions returning to normal, every effort is now being made to recover those lost tons in fourth quarter and the first quarter. In mid-September, one of the draglines at Kura experienced a mechanical failure in the propel unit. Repairs are already underway, etc., etc. And so they don't expect this to have a significant impact on their full year results. And you can see that with the share price, didn't decrease all that much. So even though this was a downgrade, the share price only fell by 4.4%, fall another 4.6%, but that could be because coal prices have fallen overnight. I actually haven't had a look at it. In fact, the XGO down 1.28%. We look at coal prices, and when I say coal prices, I own, no, that's iron ore. Where's my coal prices? Here, there it is. It's Newcastle Thermal. And National Newcastle Thermal was down 2.4%, but I would assume that metallurgical coal was down if Newcastle thermal coal was down. So that's one of the reasons why share price of Coronado did fall today, like many other mining companies on the ASX. Now let's have a look at the chart for this company. And you can see probably why this company isn't talked about a lot. Because if you have a look at the weekly chart, and another thing is this company hasn't been around for long. In fact, it listed in 2018, and that was a share price high. The first week this company was listed was a share price high for this company. Share price fell from $3.50 in that first week down to a low of 50 cents back in April of 2021. And then coal prices did rally, and I suppose you could say Coronado's price did rally from 50 cents to $2.50, but it really hasn't done anything since then. So it's a little bit different than other coal companies. I'll try to add, let's do New Hope Coal. New Hope Coal. Same scale. Oh, this doesn't look good. You can't even see. So I've overlaid New Hope Coal. In fact, I'm going to go a little bit further. You can't really see how much New Hope Coal rallied, share price rallied, compared to Coronado, because New Hope's share price is off the chart. So you can just see here how Coronado's global resources share price has not rallied as near as great as other coal companies. And maybe that's why this company isn't talked about as much. Now, when coal prices fell during 2019 into 2020, Coronado's global resources share price fell just like New Hope share price. So there was a relationship there, but not as much of a relationship when the coal prices rose. That could have something to do with met coal prices compared to thermal coal prices. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the area. So anyway, that's all I have for this particular video, looking at Coronado Global Resources, a coal company I've never had a look at before, but possibly, particularly if it looks good value, but I just don't know. At this point in time, based off their half-year numbers and based off their cost they get into get the coal out of the ground, those do look a little bit high. So a little bit wary when it comes to this company in regards to the cost, particularly in the fact that costs have been increasing over the past 6 to 12 months. If you have any thoughts about this company, just leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this company or this video, not company, this video. Have a good day. Bye.